Harry, yes, we have done everything. Ehemana, we are constraint section karan bisara. Why don't we do a past paper around 2 years of past papers Kerala, especially in SQL Kerala, and then we will step into the part on the theory section. So page number 41 left to do. Is page number 41, is it on page number 41, is it on this thing, the constraint section? ERD is also there. ERD section, mama ERD past paper discussion nothing. Extended version, we did it. We did that section. Right. Okay. And SQL, this is the part. No? Okay, no problem. Right. Shall we start off with A level 2024 paper? A level 2024 paper, okay, I'll pick the questions from SQL and I'll start it with, let's get into here. Perfect. Question number 6 and 7. Let's see. Which of the following changes occurrence in Mahava in the city attribute of users in the relation Mahu? So relations, no, we had to figure it out. The table is Mahu. Okay, the attribute column is user. Okay, and the entry is Mahava. Now, एक हरियट separate करगन दोने. Okay, it opposites again an update statement change all the occurrences. Hamma instant update karanda bone. So basically, you don't say modify user settings. There is no statement called modify for here. It's the update statement. Update the table. Okay. Table maho. Okay. Update the table. Update, I think attribute. City attribute is users. City attribute users in relation to Maho. Put again. Table Camilla user. Column Camilla city. So, entry Maha, right? Okay, according to this scenario, you will be coming across modify killer statement. This is come for when SQL statement. This is especially comes in changing the table name. So we don't use modify. Update user. Set city Mahava Maho illa Mahava. Menna mega tamai. Update all the occurrence of Mahava in the city of relation to Maho. So you're changing from Mahava to Maho. You're changing from Maho to Maho. All the occurrence of Mahava in the city relation to Maho. Mahava in the city relations to Maho. Which are the following occurrences of Mahava in the relation in the city relation attribute to Maho? From where to where are we changing it? Is it Maho where city is equal to Mahava? You are updating to Maho. Yeah, this photo. It's where you're basically trying to change the Mahava TNA Kavila Maho with the change. Two Maha, no, right? Two Maha Suna sir. Basically. How do they? Awesome. We not it then. Make a take next question. Malum. Okay, nice. So Aulak Nasser. Okay, nice. Let's get it started. Next one, which of the following list given the statement clause in the correct order? Select the column. Select columns. Very important. We have to select the columns. Eta passe thamai where statement. Select from middle. So sorry, select where. You have to select the column and then you have to say where. Eta passe one filter ekak. Select columns. Eta passe column and the table. So select from, make an first one. A very easy one. Seriously, what a easy work. Oh, perfect. Alright, so two questions done. Let's get into the next part. Next, we do have a question from here. Question number C part. Write an output of the SQL statement in the given. So in here, using the select statement, you will be selecting the columns. From statement, you will be selecting the table. This is filtering. When you're going to draw the output, remember the output will be always shown as a table. Always the output comes as a table. So you will be drawing a small table. Very important. पूरी table है draw करना. A table है title है बना दे. Name and wholesale price. So product name and wholesale price. Those are the two things we are selecting. Where retail minus wholesale. Retail minus wholesale. 850 minus 850. Is it greater than 50? No. 825 minus 50? No. 900 minus 800? Yes. So what is the product name? Sugar. And what is the wholesale price then? 800. Make a hurry. 700 minus 650? No. 725? No. So only one answer. Make it another. Very simple question. A very simple question. Write a skill statement to insert the following. P5. 725 minus 700 is how much? It's 25. Is it greater than 50? No. Okay. How to insert the record? Insert into. These things are keyword. Keyword can be given in capital or simple. It doesn't matter. What is the table name? Product, values, and we write the values. P6. Stationery. Bag. Big bag. 75500. 75000. Nice. For characters, we provide inverted commas. For integers, we don't provide double inverted commas. Write an SQL statement to display the product type. Display the product type, name, wholesale of product whose bag is not bag, whose product name is not bag. So these are the entries we have to select. So these are the columns from table. එහෙමනම් select product type, comma, product name, comma, wholesale price. From products table where product name is not equal to bag. See, easy. SQL past papers. Damn easy. ඉගෙන ගත්තොත් කට්ටම ලේසි. මේක මුකුත් නෑ එකම දේ තමයි repeat වෙලා past paper දිනනකොට එපා වෙයි. සර් ඇත්ති සර් දැන් අපිට කියලා කියයි බලන්න. seriously. එහෙම කරන්න බලමු next එකේ next. Okay, ඊට පස්සේ you have to get question number 2, question number 3. We had to do question 2, 3. ඊට පස්සේ 3 and then you have to do D. So SQL also comes every year. See a pattern. 2 questions from MCQs and one question from part. 8 marks mariki. 8 like 6 mariki. Question. Consider the employee relation. Would you like to find the output? So let's decode the code. Select count all. What do you mean by count all? It will basically count the number of entries. Number of records. Okay, right. From employee table, hurry. Where salary greater than, you count the number of entries where the salary is greater than. Salary is greater than. So salary should be greater than any select salary from employee. Now, it's a subquery. When the May statement, can you tell me what will be the answer? May statement, what is the answer? When the May statement, what is the answer? Select salary from employee. Select salary from employee. What is it? Come on, guys, you have to say me. Select salary from employee. From employee table, selecting salary column. This statement would give you an output of all the salaries. Select salary from employee. Main statement taking select 5. Okay, select salary from employee. What do you mean by selecting salary from employee? You will be selecting the column salary from the employee table. So what is the salary column? 60,000, 55,000, 70,000, 65,000, 75,000. These are the entries. When the statement is getting select count. That is the count the number of records or else the number of entries. That's a five or five. From employee table where salary, okay, where salary is greater than. What do you mean by salary is greater than? Now this statement will run one by one. Okay, this statement will be running one by one. एक entry run करना. एक salary first time 60. Okay, salary second time 55. Salary third time 70. Salary fourth time 65. Salary fifth one 75. And एक run करना. එහෙම run කරනකොට do you have any of the record which is this salary is greater? Basically we are asking 60k එකට වඩා කවුරුහරි වැඩිපුර ඉන්නවද? Yes, that's once. 55k එකට වඩා කවුරුහරි වැඩිපුර ඉන්නවද? නෑ. Okay, ඉන්නවා. ඔක්කොම ඉන්නවා. එකක් ඉන්නවා. That's two. Okay. 70,000 එකට කවුරුහරි වැඩිපුර ඉන්නවද? Yes, three. 65,000 එකට වඩා වැඩිපුර ඉන්නවද? Yes, four. 75,000 එකට වඩා කවුරු වැඩිපුර ඉන්නවද? නෑ. So how many times is it higher? 4 times. මේක තේරුණාද? Select salary from employee will give you all the salaries. 60, 55, 60, 65, 70. Okay. Select count. Count the number of records from employee table where this salary is greater than any of these. May range again counter salary greater than yes. You will be displaying 75,000. Yes, 55,000 ekata vada. Putaginda. Putaginda. 70 mama gahapun values tika tide. I manga check karana. 60,000 yes. 55,000 Oh, 55,000 55,000 is it greater than any of this? No, 70,000 yes. 65 yes, 75 yes. So you will be getting 4. AKRA, basically, he will check one by one. Do you all have any entries which is larger than any of these salary? Is this entry, is it larger than any of the salary? Mage salary it's higher. Yes. Muge salary yes. This person's salary, yes. That person's salary, yes. Did you get my concept? SQL, it's easy. Shall I explain it again also? Right. Okay, we'll figure it out. 75 is greater than, no? Checking like this, is 65 greater? Okay, we'll see. Okay, check it like this. Select salary from employee. Hey, give me all the students' salary. Give me all the employees' salary. Done. Perfect. 60, 50, 70, 50, 75. Make it there now. This subquery will give you this answer. Okay, guys, count it. Put the count karanda. Count from salary where this salary is greater than. What salary? Give me one by one salary. From the employee table salary sonnale maro employee salary tare. Employee table salary sonna adeta. 60,000 is greater than any of this. Is 60,000 greater than any of this? Okay, kaura they know 60,000 tawada adui. Yes. Is 55,000 greater than any of these buggers? It's not there. Is 70,000? 70,000 is it greater than any of this? Is 70,000 greater than any of this? Yes. It's greater than 65, right? Is 65,000 greater than any of this? Yes. 55. Is 75,000 greater than any of this? Yes. Everything is the hardest. So the answer is there the concept here. Chakabu, got it? Right. Next one. Create the table, lending table, blah, blah, blah. Student ID is the foreign key of in lending table. Lending table primary key is book number. Upper lending table, we have book number, book name, author, description, issue date, student ID. Obviously, student ID is doesn't belong to lending table. No, it must be foreign key, so we can take it. Can be considered as a foreign key. It is compulsory to input date to the date entry type in both the tables. No, it is optional. Here it is compulsory. Why say it's compulsory, not null? Here it is optional. Optional. So student ID can contain only 5 characters. Student ID can contain only 5 characters. 5 English characters? No. Chalk you can have letters. Chalk you can have letters, symbols, numbers. Right. So the answer is A only. Answering leader hurry and I make a varadi, make I hurry gila. Some gunik pagi the andipa A only. Write it correctly. Understood? Student ID is the foreign key? Yes, because in this table, if this is the primary key, obviously then this should be the foreign key. Ehmana, second one is date is both in available in table. No. In the first table, it's optional, it's compulsory. Not null in the tame compulsory. Third on English letters. Okay, then fine, understood. But awesome, good. Right. Can I get the answer for this one? I'll have a quick check out of the exam people those who are doing the exam. Do that question and keep your answers ready. I'll come quickly. Write the most suitable case. Here statement create an employee table with a suitable primary key. So create table What is the table name? Employee. Nice. We have to open the brackets. Within the brackets, we write a column names, EMPID, EMP name, date of birth, department, designation, date of join, salary. We have to give the data types. E killer keyword, its character. So varcha 200. But a varcha 2 or 200 or 250 or 255, it doesn't matter. 255 date, department dekat varcha, designation dekat date, salary 820. What are the constraints we have to give? Primary key for who? Primary key for the table, and every column should end with a comma, except the last column ending semicolon. Write an SQL statement to insert the record of employee table. Insert into employee. We have the answer from one of our students. Intelligent student, mashallah, very good. Insert into employee good values. E11 is an inverted comma, because it's a character. Single or double doesn't matter. John, nice. A date of birth should come in this order. Year, month, and date. 1970 slash month and date. IT, nice. Professor, nice. 2001 slash 7 slash 15. Perfect. The way they have given is different, but the entry format is different. This is how it's been displayed. Make a display format given us. Okay, but the way we enter is different. So remember, for date, data type, okay, the format is always comes as year, month, and date. Up here change करना 1971. Very good. Thank you. Ita passe. Write the outputs. Write an SQL statement to find the names of all employees who works in civil departments. So select names of all employees. Employee's name, employee name from employee table where department equal to so 1971 6 and 15. Thank you. Right. Okay, next question is draw the output. You are selecting two columns here. Columns. Okay, අදත් එක මම හිතන්නේ අතීත තව එකක් කරන්නද columns තව එකක් කරන්නේ. Okay, තව එකක් past paper එකක් විතරක් කරමු. අප එල්ල මුලින්ම table and filter. Okay, what is the table name, ID and name? Yeah, you will tell to do more, but you guys will not check the recording, and then what I'm supposed to do? You guys will never check the recording. We are 2K kids, sir. 2K kids doesn't study at once. Okay, we all have to remind us to study at several times. Very hard. Employee ID. Okay, employee name. Okay, who has taken more than 1,30,000? 1,30,000 employee ID E110, E114, E117 and E119. So make a point that way. Saman E1114, Jennifer, Ismail varade. Great, Ismail illa, Ismail gedamillinge. Ismail illa, you will have John. Kumaravai, his salary is not greater than 1,03,000. I his salary should be greater than 1,03,000. And John comes because you entered his data also. No, if you say select all Rukaiya, it will select all the columns. They are asking find the names of employee. This should be output of all employees. This is among records. So your output should give you the names among all the records. So select column. Obviously, we will check from all the records only. Selecting the name from the employee. This is what the from statement comes. This is where the select statement comes. Understood, okay? Sounds okay? Fair enough? Beta, bye 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 Raja. Any questions, doubts? Katti Harid. Shall we go for another one more paper? கொஞ்சம் இப்ப சார் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் வருதா இல்லாட்டி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் இல்லாம ஆயிட்டா? Okay. ඔයාලා ලියනවනේ. ඊට පස්සේ එහා පැත්ත page එකේ තියෙන SQL statement ටික කරන්න බලමු. මේ month එකට තව සති කීයක් තියෙනවද අපිට? අපිට තව සති දෙකක් තියෙනවානේ. So we will do SQL on those 2 weeks also. Then by this month we are finishing SQL. Guys, those who have ordered the web development tute, I have shared it. I am sending it tomorrow. So a tute stick available tomorrow you will be getting in hand. Not well, guys, these days. Good luck. Okay. අපි එහෙනම් අනිත් question එකත් කරමුද? කට්ටිය බලන්න. Okay, guys, let's get into the next one. Next one, Nika. Here we have a question. Only one is there, no? ඒකයි මෙහා පැත්තේ එකක් තියෙනවා. Guys, pattern එකක් යනවා question එකට. පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. Question එක යන්නේ එක pattern එකට. Pattern එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ example, they give you the what is it, Sonna? They will be giving you the இது they will give you one or two MCQs. ඊට පස්සේ they will give you the part 2 එකේ question එකක් දෙනවා. So ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. So let's do these two questions and see. Inner joins சொன்னா இப்படி two circle, அந்த two circle unique entries inner join. Question கொஞ்சம் சரியோ தெரியாம பண்ணி பார்ப்பேன். இது என்ன year? 2022. 2022. බලන්න කොහොමද? පොඩ්ඩක් අපේ මෑන් ඇවිල්ලා එකම question එක දාදිනවා අපි ස්කීම් එකේ මේක තමයි ආන්සර් එක එන්නේ. So ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. now okay. The question is in here. Okay, right. So let's see how to do this question. Right. Select the first name, comma, last name, comma, order ID. From inner join from customer, this is the customer table. Inner join order, this is the order table. On customer ID is equal to order ID where location is also gone. So first we select goal. So code दिखाएगा ना हमको मामा? Sorry. Here from customer table inner join order. From customer table inner join order. Maker made in right. Okay. That was one student. So, okay, he has done the exam and suddenly he has got a fall up. பெரியம்மா மவுத் ஆயிட்டாவோ அதனால போடுது இப்படிலாம் ஒரு பிரச்சனை இதுப்பா சொல்லி வேற இல்ல. Okay, inner join order on customer ID order ID made in entries with inner join unique entries C2 order ID comma customer ID where customer location is gone. Now, who are the people who are gone? C2 and C3 only gone. And कट्टी वैडन ने. So C2, C3 तीनों then C2 तीनों, C3 तीनों, C2 देपारक तीनों. So you will be getting C2 twice. Why? Because he has different orders. So you will get Callum, Shiromi, Callum, Callum, Shiromi, Callum, Callum, Shiromi, Callum, Callum, Shiromi, Callum, 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 Shiromi, Gamage, Gamage, Silva. मैंने में गिरा आंसर. So I said Deepak. Exactly. Why? Because in order table, customer entries, if you say goal na metering field kara C2, C3. C2, C3, C2. He has different orders. See, he has different orders. So basically, Caleb has these two different orders. First one is the answer. Harde. What about this? Anyone else would like to send me the answer for this question? Storing. Anyone who wishes to send me the answer for this question? I already know that. Lamai. Malam. நானே களத்துல இருக்கிறேன் சரி வராது. Write down the output. So you are going to output full name and salary. Guys, remember, it should be table as table. Salary. From employee table and assign project table. Where assign project table like employee ID should be equal with employee table like employee ID. So may then equal window. එහෙම equal වෙනකොට you have E2 E8 full name E2 Upul. These people should be available. Sorry, metana where assign project dot employee ID should be equal to employee table like employee. Mean equal entries to my gun load. So let's get this one. We do have E2 Upu Fernando. Upu Fernando. We do have E8. E8 Sunil Pereira. It was E7 Kamala Gamagi. E2 Upol Fernando, because he belongs to another project. He's not duplicated. He belongs to two projects. Fernando, Saman Pereira, and E7 Kamala Kamala Gamagi. Who pulled the salary 44,000. Sunil, 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 the salary 115000. Kamala Gamage 52,000. The salary pull 44,000. Someone 140. No, you can't write it once bar because the entry has been duplicated twice. Yeah, it has been referred twice. So he thinks that it's different entries. Okay. You have to write distinct. Select name distinct. Unique entries. SQL will think him as a separate entry. He doesn't see unique entries. He see separate entries. Write an SQL statement to display the names of employees who are assigned to project P04. Select names of employee. For a name, select the names of employees. So you have to select the employee name. Employee name comes from what table? Full name. From employee table. Okay. Where project, not project, where project ID is equal to 4. Now see here there's a problem. Why? Project ID is in what table? Project table. But full name is in employee table. I have to select the assigned project table also. Yeah, Vipul and Chris is ignored. Okay, now see, full name is from employee table and project ID comes from assigned table. AK P4 is that it will get duplicated. You are not getting the unique values. So you have to say end foreign case linker. Okay, employee table, employee ID must be presented. Do not get everyone's detail. Give me the details of who are being presented in both the table, and from there, give me only P4. Employee table, assign project table, assign project table, employee ID. What I'm trying to tell you is here, guys, wait, do not give me all the details from employee table and assign project table. Get me the unique entries from employee table and assign project table and filter the P4 entries only. Normalization we haven't studied. So third and fourth I'll skip. Second and third I'll skip. Fourth one, not fourth, sorry. Third and fourth. No? fourth skip karala. Fifth one, write a sample SQL query where update anomaly sekat karanga ba. Right. Yeah. SQL normalization should have started. I canceled the class last week. No. अपराधनंतर लස්සන time එකකට යනවා. Hopefully we have another 2 weeks. No. කරලා to do. Done and dusted. Awesome. Good. Okay, done, dusted, nice, beautiful. All right, okay. Next thing is, guys, okay, I will be ending the session by now. Okay, apita will the constraint section neke part which I'll share you the recording also. ඊට පස්සේ we have to go through with the past papers. ඒක theory section එකක්. ඒක රෙකෝඩින් එක මම කට් කරලා ඒකත් අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්නම් අද රෙකෝඩින් එකත් එක චෙක් කරලා මේකෙන් පස්සේ you will be able to see the constraint section එක recording එක it will be updated in the YouTube also. I will be ending up the classroom for today. Put the physical class at Also check it out. See you next class. Okay, people who are joining for the theory tonight, we do have the database classroom where I'll be starting normalization for you guys. All, assalamu alaikum, and I'm planning to come on to this. So let's see how much we can do it. Good. So what do you mean by constraint? When you are dealing with databases, okay, one of the most fundamental rule of a database, which is collection of data, is going to be the quality of the information. Okay, how original this information is going to be. Okay, is it altered one? Okay, can the user alter it in there, or does it been duplicated? Nothing here and there, putty empty spaces. Oh, it's not a complete data. A database should have a quality of information. So in order to have some quality of information in PayPal, if you take it on in, we can take an example called as in this life also. Okay, when the government wants people to do good and be good, okay, whereas we are going to reduce the crime rate, what government mostly apply? Okay, if in a country, okay, there are lots of crimes are happening, lots of rapes are happening, lots of people are stealing, okay, banks are being robbed and everything now. Okay, if the government wants to protect, okay, all the citizens, they would apply something. What are those? Rules, exactly, Ritika. Okay, so applying these rules, okay, allows you to, okay, sort out, filter out what type of people you are coming in and going out. Same theory api apply karamo in terms of a database. In a database, okay, you apply rules so that you will have a quality of information. If you don't apply rules, what happens is data will get scattered in different types and different ways. That's the simple concept. So rules applied on a database. Did I make very sense? Very simple, straightforward. Okay. By applying rules, what happened? You reduce duplications, you increase in consistency, efficient, accurate, okay, reliable, okay, available. That's under, okay, the case of what's okay, applying constraint. Now these constraint, okay, what we are learning right now as a theory, later by we will apply in terms of coding. Okay, for an example, the method of a theory set called as constraint. The same thing you will have it in here also, see, called as constraint. Okay, so whatever the theory that we are learning in terms of constraint, in SQL, we will actually apply in a database table. Did it make sense? Am I connecting the lesson? Not so hard, no? Okay. Okay, now don't think that I have not done databases. Completely fine. Just have knowledge. What is database? Collection of data. A software that allows you to manage your data is known as a database management system. Okay, right. So constraint. Okay, let's learn some theory. So example of a constraint. Okay, example of a constraint in there. Constraint ensure the data insertion, updation, and other process have performed in such a way the data integrity is not affected. What do you mean by the term integrity? Originality. So the originality of the data not being, okay, changed. Integrity. Okay. So this constraint used to guard against accidental damage to database. For an example, okay, assigning a primary key is a constraint in a database. Assigning a primary key. So last session, what is primary key? A unique column in a table. Product revision growth. Okay, all unique columns in a table, what do you call it as that? What is it, Shakib? What is it, Mariam? Okay, what do you call it as? Okay, Ishwak is a Haifa. Okay, what do you call it as? Okay, all unique columns in a table. What key we call it as? All unique columns. Composite name, primary key name, foreign key name, magula kata name set kadam pisunata name. Okay, what is it, Ritika? Candidate key. Nice. Candidate keys are all the unique keys in a table. Okay, among candidate key, one key will be selected as the primary key. Okay, primary key is the most unique table. Now, for an example, if I apply SID as the primary key, okay, what will happen is primary key will restrict user from entering duplicate data. If you apply a rule called primary key, it will restrict the user from applying duplicate entries. That's what a primary key is all about. So here I will have something called as, okay, yeah, something I will have S2 and I will have different name, Hanif, Munas, okay, maybe we'll say 37, 45, something like this. This will apply a rule telling that the user cannot have duplicate entries. In this table, if there is no primary key now, you will have the same SID for two people. Okay, we'll take Hanif, also gets the same SID, and then Munas also gets the same SID. Do you all see a problem here? There is no uniqueness. So this is a table without primary key, okay, without a primary key, and that is with primary key. So candidate keys and everything connected with our theory class. Good. We come across. So applying a primary key allows you to make a table more unique. When it's unique, you can use it as a reference. We call it as what key. When the primary key used somewhere else, what do you call it as, Hafsa? When the primary key is being used somewhere else, what do you call it? What key we call it as in there? Exactly. It's a foreign key, like, really happy. Good. We call it as the foreign keys. Okay, good. Next one. What are the relational constraint? Meaning in relational database, what are the constraint available? So we have it as entity constraint. We have domain constraint. We will learn about this with theory parts. More images we do have foreign key referential constraint, referential integrity constraint. Referential integrity constraint. So in the table, you have assigned different SID. So it's still unique. No, pa. In this SID, you have not assigned as, sorry. Okay. Should it be 1, 1? Metana 1. Thank you. Referential integrity constraint. And then you have unique constraint. So these are different types of key constraint. Okay, these are different types of rules that we can apply on a database. In short, to make it very simple keyword, integrity constraint deals with primary keys. Domain constraint deals with data types. Referential constraint deals with foreign key. Entity constraint or else unique constraint or key constraint deals with the other type of keys. So if you're dealing with primary keys now, entity constraint. If you're dealing with the data type, domain constraint. If you deal with referential constraint, foreign key for foreign referential constraint about foreign keys. So these are rules that you can apply on a database. So the data will be having quality of information. So accidental changes, anything will not happen. Sounds good. Good to go. Nice. So make it right. Happy? Good to go, nice. Cool, Amaiti. How things are going on? Hope you guys are studying. Getting another natam. Krishna talking no thama. Few more days are going on. Days are going little by little. Sahla, will you be going for the? You guys will be planning to go to the funeral. Okay, okay, pa. Okay, good. Nice. So let's talk about what is this entity constraint refers to as. Okay. Entity constraint के लिए क्या है usually mostly table uniqueness that is known as entity constraint. Basically, we can also call it as primary key constraint के लिए क्या है okay, that gives the idea. For an example, in a user, okay, when the user is about to enter the username and password, this password must be entered. Okay, now this password must be entered, and that's the reason it says enter your password, wrong password, or you have not clicked. If I have set the rule called as an entity constraint, that primary key constraint के apply कर लाती both, you will learn how to apply later. What will happen is the database will not store the data. It will not allow the data to be entered if it's empty, if it's not unique, if it's duplicating. So three things are there. So entity constraint is all about entity constraint the state that primary key values cannot be null. You will come across this word a lot, empty. This is because the primary key value used to identify each record of a relation, and if primary key has a null value, we can identify uniquely. A table can contain null value other than the primary keys. So for an example, in a student table, if I underline it, do you all know what you mean by this underlining? No? Student name, age. In case in the student table, if I underline this comes under the category of what's primary key constraint. Later, we will learn how to code it and do it. Primary key cannot be null, meaning it cannot be empty. It must be unique and it cannot contain duplications. So it has three factors to go through. It must be unique and it cannot have duplications too. So by applying a primary key, okay, you will be not able to go through. So we'll have some data. So in case if I apply a primary key, it should be unique. Maybe the name can be duplicated, not okay. They'll say Fatima ke liye the word Fatima can get duplicated twice. Batch 3, batch 3, 18, 19. Okay. We can get duplicated, but ID cannot get duplicated. Okay. Make it my team. We have key constraint. That is, you apply other keys, candidate key, alternative key, composite primary key. Okay, not the foreign key. Okay, other keys apply that comes under key constraint. So entity refers to the primary key. Key constraint refers to the other type of keys. Okay, these are called as uniqueness constraints since it ensures every tuple. What do you mean by the term tuple? A record, natang row in a relation. What is a relation? A table. See, I gave these words, no? May words them use finny. So other case. should be unique. Relation can have multiple candidate keys. Out of them, one of the primary key. Though we don't have a restriction of choosing the primary key. So and so and so. So these are rules applied for key constraint. There is nothing to memorize in there. You just know this because they will not ask you all on terms of the theory stuff in this lesson. Make you go through the coding. Sounds fair in the key constraint. Done. Understood. Okay. Okay, you guys can take a screenshot if you all have the tute now. Okay, make it a print out and down next week itself. You guys will be getting the tute, hopefully. Right. Okay, good. Next one is you apply domain constraint, or else constraint refers to the data type. Here, it's not about making it unique, but it's about filtering out what data to be entered. For an example, when the user is about to enter a password, to ensure there is a high level of security in the system, the pass should have a non-numerical character. It should have at least one digit. It should have an uppercase, so and so. All these rules regarding the type of data the user enter. A rule applied on a database of filtering what data to be entered. A rule that what did you say? Okay, a rule that is applied on a database, okay, to filter what type of data that can be entered in a database, and that is known as what we call it as domain constraint. This is also been given. Okay, domain constraint, we tell the data type. Okay, everything is connected. So domain constraint define the definition of valid set of keys for attribute. Attribute के लिखे columns. Nice. Okay, the column does not accept any values other than the type declared by a specific type. So you can have numeric and everything. Shall I show you the code also? Now primary key ka pin one domain constraint we have a code. Code. When you're creating the table, you have to tell the data type. Code. You can also tell the constraint. Did you get the concept? We have to say the data type. What is the data type we are going to learn around 6 to 7 data types you're going to learn. Okay, AK set coding. Right. Example. Okay, here if I assign student ID 1, 2, 3, we'll take it in their name. We'll say Zakaria. Okay, Hanif. Ritika. Batch B1, B2, B3. And I write here 19, 20. Now this would generate an error. This would generate an error because if you have applied that this column takes only integer values, if you have applied this column takes only char values, char values, char values, but we'll learn it later. These are data types. Hope you all know about integer. Okay, basic idea about integer is numbers. So if you have applied a rule that this table takes only integer values now by entering 20 in letters, even though it's a number, okay, in letters or in characters would generate an error. It won't allow you to enter this data. It restricts of or else it filters what data can be entered in a database. So we can have a small note in terms in here under domain constraint. What is domain constraint? Click on a rule. The above table, above relation will is incorrect due to the age attribute must be presented with numerical values instead of character values. How do you apply it? We say like this. The code would go like this. How do you apply the code? අපි code එක මෙහෙම දාන්නේ. Like these are domain construct. අපි ඉස්සර ඉගෙන ගන්න ලස්සනයි. You say age int 100 or else we'll say 10. It can have 10 different characters, 10 different numerical numbers. Age 10 කියලා කියන්නේ this is the data size. Okay, you can have 10 digits. This is how the code goes. You can also have another code. Shall we have another code also? Code number 2. Okay, you can use a check constraint. This is also comes on a domain key. Okay, you can see age int 10, and you can say check age greater than or equal to 18. You can filter it more. So what happens here? Okay, this take 10 characters or 10 digits. Okay, this is filter. So this is the code. So you say check whether the age that the user has entered is above 18, and don't send it. So even though it's a numerical, you all have to. So what ID in the table comes under value? Depends, pa. Okay, here it comes under character because it has both character and the number. No, you can write in capital simple. You will learn. Okay, these are non-case sensitive. You can write in capital or simple, doesn't matter. SQL is basically non-case sensitive. Python is case sensitive. Some codes are there errors, but not in SQL. SQL is okay. It's SQL is easy. Python wage hitanda todne. Simply whatever the common general, because it's an fourth generation language. It's more easy. So always we should write number 10. The example on the party key 10 a number of digits. Okay, this is under domain constraint. So we checked about the entity domain, and then we are moving across. Okay, the next one called as, hope I am making it clear now, applying rules. The last one is foreign key constraint. Example of a foreign key constraint is in here. Okay, this is on I think renewal of license. Okay, DL. Okay, drive vehicle insurance or driving vehicle license. Okay, vehicle license renewal लेकर मैंने make yeah ना. Okay, good. Okay, this is vehicle renewal license. In here, there is something called as a foreign key. Can you tell me a foreign key in this data that we are entering? This is a database, or else this is a kind of a database. We can enter data. It's collecting data through a form. Okay, and here there is a foreign key. We have to enter a primary key of another table. What is it? NIC. Okay, it's a foreign key. So NIC comes from a different table. NIC comes from a different table. vehicle registration number, chassis number, name belongs to the vehicle license. That's vehicle table. Okay. But this NIC is a primary key of another table coming as a reference. Now, what should it do? Okay, in general words, if the user, generally Hanna, if the user enter an NIC which is not available in the database, what should this database should do? Again, Hanna, if a user wants to renew a vehicle license, okay, should it get updated or should it stop or should it put an error? Should it get updated or should it come as an error? Basically, hope all of us knows it. Yes, it should give an error. Correct now? That error is what we called as referential integrity constraint. Referential integrity constraint is also known as a foreign key constraint, allowing the table to cross-check. Allowing the table to cross-check with the foreign key entry before entering the data. That is, if a user enters an NIC which is not available in their database, it will not be entered. It will restrict the user from entering because it's not there. As you all said, foreign key constraint restrict the user from entering a non-primary key value. A value doesn't have that value. Value cannot. Foreign key constraint enable you to identify required relation between a table and a foreign key referential constraint specific between two tables. In this relation, foreign key table 1 refers to the primary key, then table 2 is a foreign key. Must be null or available in the table. It should be either empty, nothing available, but boruki and the either you tell it or either you stop your mouth and shut and wait. But they have put this must, okay, because they have made it as a primary key also. Okay, this is must to enter. Make a must. They have made it not null. May strict again and not null. So normally foreign keys either can be written or kept empty. Okay, either it should be written or kept empty, but then they have put it not null constraint. Empty you have to write it. So they have applied two rules in it. The first rule is foreign key. The second rule is not null. Got the concept? So foreign key it should match or either it should not be written. Either empty or it should be available. See? Available or empty. For an example, we'll say S1, S2, S3. Okay, we say Ahmed. Okay. Nizam. Okay, Hanif. Batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, 18, 19, and 20. C1, C2, C3. MSc, Diploma, BTech. These are the courses. Okay, these things will be entered and thus this one will generate an array. Okay. This would generate an error. Why? Because it's not there. As you guys enter entry, okay, what happens in it when the data is not available? It would generate an error. Correct, done. The above relation, and we'll say under, so name means not the student name. What name for? And it's a course table. A course table, or यहाँ पे तो name है दिया नहीं. These are students' name, Ahmad, Nizam, and everything. Okay. And I will write a small note. And referential integrity constraint, that's foreign key. The above relation is incorrect. The above relation would generate an error when entering the data. The value T5, the value T5 doesn't exist in positive. How about the code? Code again. Foreign key, we say course ID, references, course table, course ID. This is the code. Again, I'll teach you all. This lesson is very easy. You all have to do the coding. I'll give you all the possible ways to perform coding and everything. My start killer but I want code we'll see under referential integrity constraint, the above relation would generate an error when entering the data. The value T5 doesn't exist in course table. It's been linked. We will learn about relationship and everything later by one-to-one, one-to-many. So there might be a couple of people might know having no idea about the keys and everything that we are talking. So I have no idea about keys and everything. Okay, that's we did it in our theory class. Okay, walang ape book almost everything is available. But then okay, walang already class you might have learned it there databases. Natta, you can check the recordings with us. So where can we apply this code within HTML code or website or in another software? I'll come for it. Okay. කොහොමද apply කරන්නේ කොහොමද මේක run කරන්නේ මේක pre-code කරලා කොහොමද යවන්නේ those things you will learn next. So the rules are finished from here. Did I make it sense? Everything is okay? Did you all understand it beautifully in terms of everything? Halila, okay. Okay. Tell. Try to finish off the theory as soon as possible within another 2 months again and started to go through with the papers, keep practicing papers. Saw a beautiful quote and then uploaded in the group also. What is it? Information is wealth. Okay, information is wealth. So when you know things in there, that is wealth. But then, okay, now we have access to information a lot. Okay, your mobile phone is full of information from the morning till you sleep. Okay, you're always getting informations from your mobile phone. Okay, is there available information? We have to go and search and get it, like reading a book, going to a library, okay, watching a TV or anything in there. But now you all have this mobile phone as a material and you have access to any sorts of information. Okay, now that information, just because you know it, is not wealth now. Okay, knowledge is wealth. Information without being processed is useless. You check on a reel, okay, you use that reel somewhere else. Maybe you're watching a reel and you see some kind of an beautiful scenery. Trip spot okay, or some kind of fashion tips, or else you are learning on some coding, okay, or maybe a joke or whatever. So you save it and keep it. You save that reel and keep it in there, and that when you use it, it becomes wealth. When you don't use it, it doesn't have it as a wealth. So what hits me a lot in a sense, okay, we are checking on all these reels and TikToks and everything in there. We are grabbing so much of information. Okomba, no, but what is the use of it? There is nothing we are taking from this. Okay, we are just wasting the time, especially in terms of someone who created a content, okay, and enjoying it ourselves. Okay, so more over time, if you get attracted or connected to the mobile phone, you will start procrastinating. Anyone who is there in this session or in this classroom, people who procrastinate, okay, just putting it to the next half an hour, just putting it to the next 20 minutes. Okay, let me start to study, let me go on into it, because there is still a lot of work to be done. So if you're a person who is that procrastinating person now, understand from yourself that you need to set a discipline. You need to set your own rules and regulations. Just remember, no one is going to come and keep your gun in there and tell, okay, gunny phone killer. You itself have to keep the gun on your, okay, on top of your head. Then you all have to change. So start the change from your side. Just understand that information is not wealth, but knowledge is wealth now. Okay, knowledge is wealth. So make use of it. Process करला एक understand करना. Happy, good to go, nice. So the next thing is where to apply this SQL, where to do the coding and everything. So, Guru, okay, let's begin this. So where and what to be used. Okay, so what are we going to do? It is the next